Hey people, it's time to acknowledge the turning over of the counter that takes up the number of people that have subscribed. And since I started to make videos that were addressed to people buying and collecting records, the vinyl community, my subscription have exploded, and it just clicked over 11,000. And I'm just glad that people like to watch. Thank you, but I don't ask people to subscribe or none of that stuff. And sometimes I actually feel a little funny about still saying, "Hey, VC," but in my mind, even though I'm not sitting here spending time watching a lot of videos like I used to, I still feel that it's a real thing, and that essentially I'm a part of it, mainly because I say that I am. And I do understand through the comments that my videos do help people to find music that they wouldn't have found otherwise. So yeah, VC, thank you for the love and the support. I know that my videos have gone far beyond, not far beyond, but my videos have gone beyond just being about music. And I've explained it in videos before that when I was much younger, in the 60s, before I knew anything about computers, I used to just fantasize about being able to open a book and the picture would come alive, and the picture would be what's happening. And I imagined myself being in a book where I could make the pictures come alive, and then I could tell people, I could present TV shows. Well, this is my TV show, I guess. But it's basically just Dereck at home when he decides to get on the camera and talk a little bit. And I always knew, even before the vinyl community, I've said this before too, I always knew that I had something to say. And for the longest time, everyone around me thought I was going to be a preacher, a minister, and actually, went to school for it for a while and all that, and got out of it. Thank God. It was really mostly a pretty awful experience, but it's obviously part of my nature, and it's also a part of the nature of my family. Not just me, but all my brothers and sisters are talkers, and we tend to get orate. I try to not be preachy. I always, if you notice, when I say things, I always qualify by saying, this is just my opinion. This is just what I see, And it's still amazing that even with that information, a lot of people just can't process the fact that we all don't think the same, and that there is no such thing as a correct opinion. There may be correct information, but each person has an absolute right to their opinion, whether it's right or wrong. And so I tell you mine. So, little conversation got started in the comments on the last video, where I passingly referred to soundtracks for a watcher and friend that I've never met, Anita, overseas. And it did unlock some things. Herbie Hancock's Death Wish is a soundtrack that I really like. Do I have it right here? Yeah. This is a soundtrack that I really like. But people brought up some soundtracks that don't mean anything to me. I like Vangelis, but Blade Runner as a piece of his work doesn't stand out to my ears. I like the movie, but Earth is one of my favorite Vangelis albums. I've got them over down there. Quadrophenia was brought up, and that doesn't rate in my book at all as far as the soundtrack. I respect the Who, but see, that's not what it's about. She asked me what about soundtracks. And the soundtrack to Quadrophenia, I have a copy. It was given to me. I've never bought a Who album. I bought Who 45s as a little boy, but I've never bought a Who album because they don't their records don't rate in my book. As far as me wanting to buy them, I have some because I honor and classic rock. It's part of me growing up, but nah, quadrophenia, nah. And I don't watch a lot of movies. I used to say that I like movies, but I started to notice in the 70s as a teen, to my perception, notice what I'm saying, there came a point when I would come out of movies and start to notice how there seems to be something going on here in life, where there was a point where people acted like people in life, and then people started to act more like the movies. That's the way it seemed to me, and it seems to be true, because it's even worse now, that people are mindlessly following a script that's fed to them through media, told what to look like, told what to think, told what not to think, told what to do, told what's cool and what's not cool. I really started to know, I can't tell you what the movies were, but they were popular movies, and it really turned me off. Now, I like foreign films, but I don't remember them, So, that was the best I could do on the soundtracks, Anita. I guess I should have just said it's filmic music I like. And then the other thing that I'm not good at anymore, I think it's because of my age, I don't know what, but people will want to, what's your best of list? Best of lists. I'm not good at that anymore, When people say, tell us about your top this, top that, my mind goes blank. And then later, things will start to pop in. So that's just not going to work for me. So I just, got to just show you records and talk about what I'm thinking and feeling when I'm thinking and feeling it, okay? And another thing is that it's part of my personality. It's partially why, it's another reason why I'm single. I don't play to expectations. And when I get the sense that others are having expectations of me that I don't necessarily agree with, I'm going to do the exact opposite, okay? Feel me. People who know me know what I'm talking about. You'll see A, then you'll see B, then you'll see C, and then you'll think, because of those, well, he'll probably be like this, or he ought to say that. He said that, so that means he probably thinks this. And I always say, no. And it's both ways. Let me just talk, okay? You have an impression of me. You see me, you get a certain amount of information. You make assessments about who I am. Some of it is likely accurate. Some of it is not. Obviously, because you can only see from the outside. And so you get an impression of me. You think that's who I am. And it's not, never is. And it's the same on the opposite end, where I'll see another person or you, meet you, spend time around you, get an impression of you, see you do certain things, and start to build a picture of who I think you are. Even though I may get a picture of who you are, and some of it may be accurate, I still don't know who you truly are. And that helps me to get along with people. I don't get that in return a lot. It seems like this is not something well understood, so that's why I put it out. An example of this I want to say is, like, last night I had band practice with chemicals, and there is chemicals online that you can hear on Bandcamp, this band that I'm in that I'm really excited about. But it's tense, and we already argue, but it's because we believe so passionately in what we're doing, and we all want to be understood. And the drummer is much younger than me, and so we have to talk, and we have heated words until we understand each other, because he'll be thinking something and that's not what I'm saying. Then he'll respond, and then he'll say something. I'll think that he said something that he didn't mean, and we work it out. And as a result, it's just making the band that much stronger. It's tense, but it's like that's the purpose of communication. But it's important that we dispel. And that's what we had to do last night. We need to dispel these impressions or ideas we have about others that are largely untrue. Excuse me. So I'm glad you like to watch. And Another aspect of what's going on here, and I've said it before in videos, is that media and technology is to the point where many people are aware that they can leave a legacy, or they can talk to you from beyond the grave. Okay, there's been stories about where people have left messages and it's supposed to be this when this time or something like that. I am aware that unless the world blows up completely, which it's not going to, it's going to just go on as a mess for a long time, that this technology will be here most likely long after I'm gone, as well as these videos. And so in a way, it's a way of me leaving a legacy, or leaving. This is my 2 cents for the world. And long after I'm gone, people can still watch this and take from it whatever they want. Been very, very busy, so I haven't been playing much music at all. The last thing that I played was something that was given to me by Chris Cole, Anima by Kenneth Knudsen. I believe he's Swedish, I think. And this is primarily synthesizer, slightly jazzy, slightly fusioning, but very enjoyable. Very enjoyable. It's all over the place. I mean, I've said that recently, but what I mean is that it doesn't start with a particular type of synthesizer sound and setting and stay with it. It just goes all over the place, to the point where on side 2 he's doing some solo piano pieces that are pretty nice. I popped some of this on, again, because I recently added this to my collection, Trad Grass Oxtenar, the recent reissues of their albums that have been out of print forever, More is More. This is very primitive, jamming, but again, the thing that's fascinating and enjoyable about it is the historic nature of it, which I'm aware of, which is this is the beginning of psychedelic and alternative culture in Sweden, and this is the music of it. Very cool. It's beautiful right now. Sunny days, temperature's just right. So yesterday I'd done some running around and I came home and put this on. Furs and Froling, Ammerland. They had the band SFF 3-piece, keyboard-oriented prog rock out of Germany. This is a duet album by the keyboardist and guitarist, and it's lovely. It's just very pastoral. That's the word. Pastoral. Beautiful. And on the Brain label, which I love, and I love to collect. Here's something else. One of my most popular videos that I made is about shoegaze. And I keep getting comments and encouragements from people, do shoegaze, do shoegaze. People, that's just one style of music that I like, and I go through phases, so no, I'm just gonna do what I'm doing, and the next time I'm into playing some shoegaze, I'll just be playing it. I might talk about it, but it's like these things happen and then you move on, okay, so last bunch of 6 Sense records sitting out, okay? Folks have really been enjoying me talking about these, and so this is the last bunch sitting out before I put them home, and I'm going to start with here, we'll just do these, all right? Here's one where I told you I bought it knowing I probably wouldn't like it, but Don Nix is a respected songwriter forever from the South. So I know that he's writing that kind of Southern R&B type of music that I really don't listen much to. But it's on the Cream label, which is a small label, not necessarily collectible, but that's why I bought it, because it's on the Cream label, honestly, and it's like, well, I've got some 45s on this label, but no albums. I popped this on. Sure enough, it's that okie dokie R&B kind of, blues-based kind of music that a lot of people just love and makes them feel comfortable. And it's like, that's the thing that I know about this music. It's like, it's very familiar. It's like people know where they're at when this is playing and what to think and feel. And that doesn't appeal to me. You know, I am really interested in creating my own space and atmosphere. I don't need this to feel good. Matter of fact, I feel better when I'm out of this atmosphere. Yeah, I feel like I'm trying to make a point. I think some people understand it, and I think a lot of people don't know what it is I'm on about. But I think you people who catch on to me know what I'm saying. And there's something very valid to it. Being different is good. And being willing to establish new traditions or find new expressions is good. Knowing history is important. I'd like to see history and its importance elevated, but I'd also like to see where history isn't being manipulated by those who are in charge of the resources so that it paints a picture that is favorable to them. It'd be nice if you could get some real history. I think that's part of the problem why history's gone by the wayside, because it's so manipulated. We can't get a straight story. You talk to this group, they say, this is what happened. You talk to that group, they say, this is what happened. And that guy, he says, this is what happened. And they all say, I was there. Okay. Another album. I like this band, but this album is trash. Wishbone Ash, Locked In. I still have Argus. I think that's Wishbone Ash's best album. I bought it as a teen when it came out. And I bought a couple copies since then because I trashed my copy playing it to death. That's not their only good album, but Wishbone Ash, very good English guitar band. But this album is that at this point, and it's the band, these guys were in the band almost from the beginning, but it's kind of like this album sounds like we're fulfilling a contract, we're out of ideas, or we've done too many drugs, or we're just not into this anymore. This album is terrible to my ears, okay? And I played it a few times trying to make sure. Matter of fact, they try to start it off with a pastiche of their own sound, which is a horrible idea. The first song, Rest in Peace, they do a pastiche of the intro to The King Will Come off of Argus. Bad idea. And then it goes into a terrible song. Terrible album. Okay? Please understand, folks, I must be honest about what I think, you know? There's no point in sucking somebody's butt. That album sucks. Here's another 7.6 record I bought, a 6.5 cent album, where I have other records by them, and they're only okay. They never get great. Barclay James Harvest, Berlin. Matter of fact, they've been described as, or they have a song called Poor Man's Moody Blues. And I don't even think that's a good title. They have a couple of nice songs, and the band plays well, and they create a nice atmosphere, but the music is just kind of just so-so. And this is some live concert they did, and it's really forgettable. Real forgettable. Here's one that was a nice find. Rod McEwen's Something Beyond Instrumental Suite. Now, Rod McEwen was a poet who made records and back in the 60s and was kind of like this deep guy. That's how they marketed him. That Rod McEwen's this deep poet, you know. And some of his poetry's all right. But this is a surprise. It's an instrumental album, orchestral, and it's weird. God, I love that. You know, it's like, I wish I could play it, okay? Look this up online. It's Rod McEwen's Something Beyond, the Orchestra of Two Worlds. This is cool because it's trying something. I don't think it actually succeeds, and that's even more why I like it, because they tried. They have this orchestra, Arranged and conducted by Arthur Greenslade. That's the Greenslade of the prog rock band, Dave Greenslade, who was in Greenslade and Coliseum. That's his dad, okay? His dad did the arrangement on this, okay? And they try things with the orchestra that are kind of spatial and stuff, and it's like, it's interesting. I don't know that it quite works, but it also makes me want to just show that Greenslade, this is the Greenslade I'm talking about. Okay, phone, you're just going to have to wait, all right? If you've seen these albums in the bins from the past, Greenslade, Arthur Greenslade, that's this man's dad. And Greenslade was a band that I really wanted to like, and I have all their albums, but all their albums are patchy. There's good songs, and then there's songs where it's like, oh my God, tell that Tony to please stop singing. His voice was terrible. It's like he was trying to do a Freddie Mercury, and he just failed miserably at it. See, I'm just honest. I also have the Patrick Woodruff, Dave Greenslade Pentateuch, the fantasy project that they worked on together. Wonderful artwork. I think the music is kind of the artwork is the best part of this album. I really have not had a very enjoyable listen to this album yet, and I've had it for years. Also, folks, just to let you know, I can take it. I am very honest in my criticism of things, but I can take it too, okay? And believe me, I have gotten it, and I get it, and I can take it, all right? I can take honesty. I'm not being mean. Honesty is not mean. Being, saying that the Wishbone Ash sucks is not being mean. It's just me being, just saying it how I feel. It's crap. It's going to be a long one. I'm going to let it upload because this computer is running like absolute shit. The mouse hardly moves. I got to get some help with this thing. Okay, so I've shown these. Okay, so these, well, here's one I haven't. Okay, here's a couple I haven't shown. All right, so here's one that was released on Elektra back in 1972. Aztec Two-Step. Primarily the songwriter Rex Fowler. His partner at this time was Neil Schulman. I can't remember to tell you what their style was like. What I can tell you is that their songwriting is good enough that I've listened to this all the way through. And I just know what I like. And this is good. Good songwriting. Not so much that I was listening to the words, but the arrangements and everything, how it came together. It's like this was a surprise. This is one where I thought I'd probably not like it at all, and I just got it because it's something you don't see, but this is one I like. Here's one, Dave Valentin, great player on the GRP label, but again, it's music for supper time. This guy can really play. Some of these songs are pretty, but in general, it just has this, it sounds like a commercial, which I just hate. I just hate that. Wes Montgomery's Greatest Hits. As I've said before, I don't like Greatest Hits records, but, are you going to leave a Wes Montgomery album behind that you can pick up for like 6 cents? I don't think so. Wes Montgomery. Another musician who left us way too soon. Way too soon. Here's one of interest that stylistically is not, it's very bluesy, and I just am not a blues. The blues doesn't satisfy my soul, okay? So David Ray, Maverick Child, folk come blues singer. I think he's gone now. But when I saw this record there, I left it at first because I looked at the cover and said, this doesn't look like I'm going to like it. But on the second trip, I looked at it again, opened it up, and looked again. There's Leslie West from Mountain and Felix Pappalardi. The album is produced by Felix Pappalardi, and on one song, Hellhound on My Trail, David Ray has Mountain as the backing section, so I get to hear a Leslie West guitar solo I would have never heard. That alone was worth it, okay? it's very bluesy, and he's not too bad. I think that's why he put himself on the cover with a couple of brothers, because he's got soul. And this is back in the 60s and 70s, back when, the whole thing of race has just been such bullshit. It's like, man, we just cannot get over our stinky asses, can we? We got to think that we're better than somebody. It's just baloney. And it's going on still, this racism, and it just pisses me off that we as a people can't do any better. We're capable. We're capable of being wiser than being racist, but we aren't. Here's another artist I have never really even wanted to hear, Bill Quaitman. Night after night, I'd see his records and I'd say, oh, this is probably music for women. But it was there, so I went ahead and got it. Surprisingly, a enjoyable listen. I would still not buy his records. It's just I can see how he got a record contract, okay? Somewhere between American and R&B sound, maybe like a Garland Jeffries or a Sub. I don't want to say Springsteen because he's not that good. See, I recognize people that are good. I don't own a Springsteen album, but I know he's good. David LaFlamme from the band It's a Beautiful Day. I'm 60, going on 61. This is the music I grew up with. I saw this man in concert with It's a Beautiful Day back in the 70s. Play a violin player. White Bird. It was like a hippie hit. And they were excellent in concert, very memorable. Again, this cover, I think these covers are made to appeal to the opposite sex. I don't know, but when I see these covers as a music buyer, they conflict with me. It's like, well, I can't tell what's going on here. This album's really good. He's a very good writer musically. That's the first thing I'm talking about when I say it's really good. Is that the music is interesting. It shows talent, arranging and writing skills. These songs obviously have some significance. Probably it's looking at that there's a personal slant, but that is not what I listen for. It's the music, and this is very good. David LaFlamme, Inside Out. Here's one local on the American Gramophone label. Ron Cooley Rainbows. I've known Ron Cooley all my life. Great guitar player. He was the guitar player in the LA Carnival band, who have one of the most collectible singles out of Nebraska. He's on that record. I have a copy of it. This is a solo album he made when he was in Mannheim Steamroller. I like this much better than most anything that Mannheim Steamroller has made. Several of my friends are on this album who I played with. I played with most of the people on this album. Joey Galizia, Eric Hansen, Davey Polson, Carol Davis. And this is good. Instrumental. It goes on the light side, but Ron can play, so he gives you some meat. This is good. See, I'm just about done here. Yeah, just about done. Okay. Another musician who deserves to be remembered better. Guitar player, blazing guitar player, kind of on the edge. I think that's why. Because his playing would sometimes border on madness. Roy Buchanan, Livestock. Live album of his. He just goes for it. He just really just goes for it almost like with a manic edge, okay? There's a mania to it that I think it can be almost too much for someone because it's so intense. So I was glad to get that. And last but not least, we're hitting on the half hour, is I was able to add a Jane Seabury album to my collection. This is an early one, No Borders Here. And this is great. She came to my attention back in the 80s, eclectic, that's how they would, present her. Kind of off the wall. She's very inventive. That's what it is. Her music is very creative, inventive, all over the place. She the way that she writes words, I like it because it captures my attention. It's just like she's talking to you, but it's slightly funny at the same time. And it'll be kind of mundane things she's saying, but the context she puts it in with the music, it's like, it's just cool. Jane Seabury, really good. Really good. Okay, I haven't mentioned too much about music that I'm trying to sell or anything, and I won't. I'll just say thank you, people, for wanting to watch my videos. Thank you, 11,000 plus people. Other folks that are making videos, sometimes they come by and watch, but again, do it. I do this because I want to do it. Okay, I'm going to do it anyway, even if nobody watches. Okay, I want to get on here and talk and say what I'm thinking and share my opinion and my thoughts. And so if that's what you want to do, keep doing it. Okay, I'm happy that people catch my spirit, my inner flame. I think I get that comment that people, they catch my enthusiasm or my spirit. I can't help it. It's who I am. It's real. This shit's important to me. This is what I'm about. I do think that's why people enjoy watching me. You can only be who you are, but I watch my videos. I do. Maybe if you watch yourself and if you can't keep yourself engaged, because I've heard that over the years, that people will complain, well, nobody's watching my videos, and there's no one answer to it. But one thing I would say is, if you're one of those people who has complained that no one watches your videos, watch one of your videos and critique yourself and see, would I watch it? Ask yourself, would I watch this? Because the answer to me is, would I watch my own videos? I do. I do watch my own videos. I get a kickback from the energy that I'm putting out. It's there. I'm talking to you, but I'm talking to me. I'm talking to us. I think a lot of you also can feel that. Right now I'm looking at you. I don't know who you are, but am I talking to you? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Is my general message or vibration I'm sending out to you, is it a positive one? Is it love? Is it acceptance? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. That's why I don't accept non-acceptance. Okay? No excuse, no reason for, we all have someone will express their opinion. But from what I'm putting out, I'm not putting out something against anyone. If that's what you think and feel, you decided that, not me, okay? Just like Ringo, and we share a birthday. Ringo Starr's birthday is July 7th, and so is mine. Peace and love. Peace and love, and I do mean that. Peace and love.